Hello, everybody. Welcome to the stream. Let me know if the music is too loud, if it's not loud enough, etc. Gus. Gus is in here. Everybody say hi, Gus. As he digs through all my shit. Oh, good. He's laying down in my craft box. I'm sure that's good. That's good. No, it's fine. I'm sure it is. All right. Happy Sunday, everybody. If you celebrate, happy Easter. We just went on a walk. Originally, we were going to go on the walk after my stream. And then realized it would probably make sense to go on the walk before. Because then my child would be pooped. And she'd just want to chill, you know? I'm 75% chocolate. I'm still making my way through my chocolate. It'll take me a while. That'll take a couple more weeks to get through that. I just had a birthday. Happy late birthday, Zippo. I hope it was good. I hope you had a good birthday. What's a Gus? Gus is my mother-in-law's cat, who is a gigantic Maine Coon. He's so big. And I love him. He's a menace. He's a menace, and I adore him. Haven't seen a live stream in a while. Well, welcome back. How are you? Where is he? Yeah, he's still in there. Hold on. Let me see if I can grab him. One sec.
Gus! Gus! Hello!
I know. What a disaster. This is Gus. He's huge. He's so big. He's bigger than most of the dogs on the property right now. I know. Here you go. You don't have to stay here. I just wanted to say hello and show you off a little bit. That's all. So big. Big boy. Huh, aren't you? You gonna chill on my jacket? That's fine. That's fine. Yeah, he's a Maine Coon. He's huge. Big boy. But he loves breaking into my office. I was going to say coming into my office, but he does it very aggressively. He'll like wait until I've gone up the stairs and I start punching in the code to get the door open. And then he books it up the stairs and runs between my legs. Like, I got in, bitch. Like, okay. Yeah, just a little mischief maker. They are very smart. Yeah. Sweet baby. Is he gone? He was like, ugh, someone actually paid attention to me and I hate that. No, this is not the same cat as Hissy Missy. Hissy Missy, I found out because I was like, whatever happened to Hissy Missy? And it turned out that Hissy Missy was not like a super feral cat. It's actually very sad because the second that someone started showing her like some attention just to see how she responded really strongly. Keep in mind that we obtained this cat with the understanding that this was a cat that hated people, that was very feral, that could not live in a house with someone, right? And it turned out that that was not true. And the second that somebody was like trying to make friends with her, she responded immediately and became very attached. And so she now lives with someone. She is now living in someone's house. The reason I didn't realize this is because the person that she got very attached to was not someone that lives on the property. It was somebody who was coming over frequently, and wasn't given the same spiel as the rest of us of like, she's probably, you know, not gonna want humans to interact with her really. So this was just a person that was coming by a lot and kept like trying to interact with her. And yeah, lives with her now. So, so it was a good end. It was a good ending. Yeah, hilariously, I missed this whole thing. I was like, I guess Hissy Missy's just out there doing whatever, being a Hissy Missy. But turns out that I guess the person she was with before, either was mistreating her. I don't want to think that that's what it was, but either was mistreating her or just like really did not understand like cat mannerisms and was crossing her boundaries a lot. And so, yeah, fortunately, she's now happy and living with somebody. Yeah, Hissy Missy was like, I don't want you. I do want you, though. Alternate explanation is she still hates humans. That person was some kind of fae. Could be. Could be. Doesn't that mean that the original reason you got her is unsolved? 100%. We still have a rat problem. Yeah. But you know, that's fine. Turns out Gus really likes chasing rats, so he's kind of taken up the mantle. But, you know. Maybe the rats need love too. You know, maybe. Maybe the rats are misunderstood. Look, we are a rat-friendly family, all right? Sam and I have both had rats as pets. Clark's best friend has rats as pets and desperately wants a pet rat. We all love rats. Very into rats. I don't want these rats around. I don't want these rats around. They eat all of the animal feed. They dig under everything. It's a nightmare. They chewed through our wheelie bin. It's a nightmare. They are crazy rats. There's a man with a flute for that, I believe. Yeah, do you have his phone number? It's like ants, right? An ant farm? Awesome. Would love an ant farm in my house, except for the whole aspect of the constant thought of if somebody knocks this over, then I'm going to scream and I'm going to hate everything. As we've discussed before. I've said before, I think people that have ant farms in their house, you have to be so brave. I have had too many bad interactions with ants, right? But I love them. I think they're so cool. Give Sam a towel. He'll know what to do. What? We tried to feed crickets to our bearded dragon. He adopted them as his own people, licked them clean, let them sit on his head. I've never heard of that happening. I've had lizards. I've never had a lizard leave a cricket alive. That's wild. He tried to eat them, but they fought back. Interesting. And then he was like, respect. You can stay. That's really funny. Nature. Nature's wild, dude. I've heard of pet snakes befriending mice. What the? Hi, Roxo. Roxo messaged me yesterday to be like, bro, have you played Cult of the Lamb? You would love that game. The aesthetic is your vibe. And I was like, have I played Cult of the Lamb? Although, to be fair, I haven't played it since they added the co-op, which I told him. But, yeah, Jesse and I had talked about doing the co-op together, and then we just never did. But we have gone hard on Cult of the Lamb, yeah. Hey, Molly. Hope you're doing good, bud. So many hours. So many hours. So many chatters dead. So many dead community members. Unfortunate. Guys, when are we gonna do Darkest Dungeon again? I think we're coming up on the time when I think we need to do Black Reliquary. I think we're getting there. We're getting to the point where I think that would be so fun. You say that like it's up to us. You know, I think it's sometimes things are like a general community vibe. And I feel it on the wind. I see it on the horizon. It's a mod. It's a really, really good modded campaign, if I recall correctly. Man, that's another game that we were like, I guess we're just going to play this every single day until we beat it. That took so long. That took so long. After Blueprints, oh my gosh, like right away. Could do. I don't know how long Blueprints is going to take me also, though. The more that I play Blueprints, the more I'm like, I think this is going to take a while. Yeah, there were people in chat when we were talking about it on Geekenders that were like, yeah, I'm like 40 hours in and I'm just starting to really put things together. And I was like, what? What do you mean? 40 hours in? Okay. Okay. I have not checked out South of Midnight. Are you going to shoot for the post-game stuff? I don't even know what that means, dude. I don't even know what that means. I'm still game, not even post-game. It's a crazy long game. I don't know. Time to pull a Sam. We could do like, oh my gosh. What's the name of that game? Where you're ferrying the dead. What was the name of that game? Spiritfarer. God. With Spiritfarer, we hit a point where I realized it was going to take a lot longer to finish it. And so we scheduled a day and just played it all day long. We could potentially do that with Blueprints. I don't know that we would still finish it, but speaking of Geekenders, maybe it's because I'm sick, but the energy was very powerful. I mean, the Ollie episode, when it was just us and Ollie, everyone was like, wow, high energy, huh? And then we were like, what if we had Ollie and someone else? what if there were two of them? Just, you know, we see how that goes. And yeah, it was what I think was expected. Pure chaos, yeah. Yeah, I had a nice time. I thought that was fun. I didn't know, if to be completely honest, I didn't know anything about Gerard before we brought him on. And he was lovely while we were like doing setup and everything. I was like, I've heard you're a yapper. He was like, I am. So, you know, it's not like, it was good. Somebody later was saying that that he actually tends to be like kind of shy at first with people. So I was like, I'm going to take it as a good sign that we were able to talk pretty easily from the get-go, you know? But yeah. Hello, welcome guys. Hello. Yeah, I did play Bokura. I played that with Summer. And we still need to play House of Ashes. And we need to do the new TFT stuff. Lots of stuff. I haven't played anything with Summer in so long. We were like, we need friend time. When did they play Bokura? How long ago was that? I want to say that was like 5 or 6 months ago. It was a while back. Points. Meme. We literally just talked about you. Did you just show up? That would be insane timing if so. It's like I summoned you. Because somebody was saying that I should play Bokura. And I was like, I've played it. I've played it with Summer. And I said, there's so much stuff that Summer and I want to play together. And we haven't played anything in such a long time. We really need some like friendo time. And then you popped into chat. And I was like, smoke cigarette? Yeah. Yes, and Bokura Planet comes out next week. That's right. Anyway, I love you. Have a good nap. This is reminding me, I don't know why. It's not the same energy at all, but this is reminding me when I was like really spiraling playing Blueprints last week. I can't remember. Somebody said something in chat. And I was like, well, that doesn't really help me now, does it? And I like really, because I was tilting so bad. And in chat, they were like, fair enough, have a nice day, and just left. And I was like, wow. I really need to rein it in, huh? House of Ashes. Is that the one you're talking about? Can someone explain the cigarette thing? I don't know what movie it is, but it's a Leonardo DiCaprio gif of him on a couch smoking, and he like snaps and points at the TV while he's smoking. Like, oh shit, it's that thing. That's the energy. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Oh yeah, I've never seen that. Something Hollywood. There we go. That's the one. That's the movie. I need a meme course. I feel like I need a meme course sometimes. Oh my God. So, I was talking about this a little bit yesterday during our surprise sponsored stream. But we're the only ones here this weekend. Everybody else on the farm went camping. And so all of the animals have been left to Sam and I, which is fine. Very manageable. And we love them all. And it's fun. It's fun to like be the ones doing all of the animals. Two things though. Sam is the only one who can wake up the geese and put them to bed. He's the only one that can do it. Because basically you have to, in the morning, you have to open it up and then jump over the fence to get away from them before they realize you're there. And at night you have to just kind of like coax them into the goose hut. Which I can't do. They will kill me. So yeah, I can't jump the fence. It's way too high. So anyway, that's been fun. So I've been feeding all of the animals, making sure the chickens have everything that they need, doing the tortoises, you know, XYZ. The sheep are fine because they've got hay and grass and also they're good. It doesn't keep them from following me around like, do you have something for me? Do you have something for little old me? And I'm like, I don't. I think you're lovely, though. Thank you. You're very cute. I would love to give you all scritches. Is that what you want? No? Okay. Well, I tried. I fought a heron yesterday. Huh? But summer, please. So my sister-in-law started talking to this old guy who's like obsessed with geese, and he was like, oh man, I'd love a couple of your eggs to try and incubate. And that made her go, I want to try and incubate a couple of the eggs. So she's got an incubator running in her house right now, but it's not working properly. So it's supposed to have this like little valve that you can put a bottle in with water, and it will every so often just kind of release water into the chamber to keep the humidity up, right? It was not working. So every like 3 or 4 hours, you have to check on it, check the temperature and the humidity, and then add a tiny bit of water. So she was like, I'm so sorry. This is like the most annoying thing that you're going to have to do while we're gone. If you can please just add water into the incubator. And every time I go in there, I'm like, this is fun. But also I'm realizing that all of these are going to turn into more crumbles. And I hate that. She was like, we're not keeping any of them. I promise. I was like, I don't believe you. I don't believe you. Because the second they come out, they're going to be goslings. And she's going to be like, oh, look at them. They're so cute. And I'll be like, no. Because when they were goslings, they were great. They were so sweet to everybody. And then they became adults. And they're rude now. I was protecting my koi fish. Fuck them twig-legged bitches. Damn, get them. Get them, Summer. Yeah, so she's incubating 6 in there right now, so we'll see how that goes. But because the system doesn't work super well, the humidity goes down kind of low overnight. You basically have to like get the humidity over the target so that you can sleep all night. And then when you go in there, the humidity is like way below the target. And then you have to like try to get it back up. It's so silly. It's just like, oh my God. So stressful. If these things don't hatch, I'm going to feel like it was my fault. So this time of year, it gets really bad because this is when they lay eggs and this is when they become really protective of their territory. So I would say over winter, they weren't too bad. They would kind of just like it. If we walked onto the field and they were out roaming, they wouldn't go out of their way to chase you. You can see where I'm going with this. In spring, they can be all the way on the other side of the field, and if you come onto the field, they will run to get you. It's terrifying. Yeah. So, look, I wouldn't mind them doing that to everybody else, right? I would like it if everyone in the family was safe. If they could, you know, scope out like invaders versus just people that appreciate them and want them on the farm. But they can't. No. And for some reason, they hate me most of all. They will go out of their way to try and ruin my life. And I don't know why. We do need a beware of geese sign. I've talked about making one for our fence. I think that would be tight. Anyways. Yeah, but all the chickens are doing good. The baby chicks all look identical still, so can't tell what's going on with them or what any of them are. The piggies all got their food and big scritches. I told Sam, since Sam had to go out there to do the geese anyway, I was like, I did everything else. You have to let the geese out, and then you have to give the piggies their morning scritches. And he was like, okay. So he was out there for a while, just like snuggling them and giving them big scritches. Yeah, they're cutie pies. I fed them a little too late last night. I didn't realize how late it was. And then I was like, oh, they were supposed to eat like an hour and a half ago. And when I went out there, they were just sitting at the fence like, bitch, where's my dinner? I was like, oh my God. Piggies, yes. Piggies are very social. They love being scritched. They love little massages. Yeah, they love it. Very sweet. Who doesn't like a scritch? Oh, that's the other thing. We did God. Did I talk about the egg hunt at all? I can't remember. We had like 12 kids here for an egg hunt. I think I did. We had a bunch of kids here for an egg hunt, and it was very fun. All of the kids were really sweet. A bunch of them I hadn't met before. They were like friends of my nephews and nieces. Yeah, they all came out and did an egg hunt, and it was very cute. And part of the day was supposed to be letting all of the kids hold a baby chick if they wanted to. So they did, but a couple of the boys were like, oh, could we touch like the chickens? And so my mother-in-law currently has like foster hens. So we were like, oh yeah, the foster hens are right next to the baby chicks. So let's just go in there. But the foster hens did not want to be they're not socialized enough. So I was like, oh, it's time to get the cinder block. It's time to go get Cindy. So I went and grabbed Cindy, my lone chicken currently. I went and grabbed Cindy and was just carrying her around. And all the little kids were like petting her. It was so cute. It was so cute. They loved her so much. I know. I was glad. I was like, oh, Cindy, you got so much love today. Her name is Cindy, but she's gigantic. Like, she was way bigger than all of the other chickens that we had. So, in my mind, her full government name is Cinderblock. Yeah. It is. Yeah, it was her time because she's so socialized now. She was just like, just letting me carry her around under my arm. It was cute. I loved it. So yeah, I've been trying to spend some one-on-one time with her because she doesn't have any friends right now. We were discussing like, okay, if, you know, assuming we get some new chickens, how do we make sure that they don't pick on Cindy? So I think what we're going to do is get one chicken so that there's two, and they might fight, but it's better than getting two that know each other and putting them in an environment with Cindy, because then if one's going to get picked on, it will be Cindy. So if it's 1 and 1 and they get to know each other, then we can add in a third. 3 is a good number of chickens because then there's a mediator. And from there we can add if we want to. But I think I'm going to go back to having 3 and see how they do. Why is Cindy all alone? We've lost 3 now. One of them, while I was gone, was out in the like outdoor run and got out. We have no idea how. I know Sam and my mother-in-law, and I don't believe that it was negligence. I think this was just they were out roaming, and chickens are escape artists, and one of them got out. Lizzie escaped, and they looked everywhere for her and couldn't find her, and then crossed the fence onto the neighbor farmer's property and found her over there, not in a good state, for lack of a better way to put it. So it sucks, but I've seen chicken run. It's true. Yeah. Is the anti-cannibal spray for chickens real? I've never heard of that before. I have no idea. Oh gosh, it's no problem, Jonas. Yeah, I was going to make sure that that got done today. So I can do that right now. Here we go. Boop. And boop. Boop. There you go. There you go. Thank you for using your channel points for a subscription. Yeah, absolutely. And this applies to everyone. Please never feel like you have to apologize for not being here a lot, for not being able to continue a sub, not being able to sub in the first place. None of that stuff. Don't worry about it. You can go away for years and come back and it's fine. I literally couldn't do this job without y'all. So live your life. If you got to go away for a while, totally understandable. You know, it's fine. It's okay. The anti-cannibal spray is methylene blue and you put it on wounds. Ah, to keep them from pecking the wound. Is that what it is? We have like an anti-bac spray that we put on the chickens when they have wounds, and then we wrap it. Chickens fuck up other chickens when they see open wounds. I see. I've only ever used it on feet. We've never had chickens that had like visible wounds. It's only ever been on the bottoms of their feet. So I just give them a little salt bath and then spray their feet and wrap it. Chickens seem kind of scary. They're little dinos, dude. They are scary. There's a reason that no matter how, even Gus won't fuck with any of the chickens. He's like, I'm good, girls. I see. I see. The thing that always stresses me out is when the chicken's crop is really hard. Chickens have like a section here where they store food. It's where like the grit goes in and like helps grind up the food. And when sometimes that's hard, and it normally means that they're not eating the right things, or they don't have enough grit, or they don't have enough water. So if I pick up one of the chickens and their crop is hard, I'm always like, fuck. Oh no, you know. Normally drinking a lot of water, and then I'll like pick them up frequently throughout the day and kind of massage it. But you can also like feed them oil, basically. You can also like basically get them to drink oil, like shoot oil down their throat and then like massage it. Just weird shit. Weird shit. Chickens are weird. They get stuck in the top. Chickens have crop tops. I zig. Yeah. What's an acceptable number of eggs to eat for breakfast? That's between you and Egg Jesus. I think that number is going to be different for everybody. My mom gets the ick from eggs so quick. She'll eat like 1 egg's worth of scrambled eggs and be like, and now I'm good forever, maybe. And maybe I won't ever want another egg. But then you could be like one of my besties, Jeannie. Jeannie can eat eggs all day long and be like, I could go for an egg, dude. Like, it's just different people are going to find different numbers of eggs acceptable, I think. 4 dozen is definitely too many. If I'm going to bother to make scrambled eggs, I would want it to be at least 4. Here's what I think is weird about eggs. I can eat more eggs when they're scrambled versus when they're boiled. I would never want to eat 4 boiled eggs. But I could eat 4 scrambled eggs. For some reason, the like mass feels different. One boiled egg is fine, but one scrambled egg is sad. Yeah, like what is that? What's the egg math here? It's weird. I don't know. I don't know what it is. But yeah. Boiled eggs give me the ick. Scrambled is fine. Yeah. Clark hates boiled eggs. Well, occasionally she asks for one, but she doesn't want the yolk. The yolk weirds her out. She does not like it. But the egg whites of a hard-boiled egg, she's okay with. She doesn't really crave it, but like she'll eat a little bit of it. But scrambled eggs? She could eat a ton of scrambled eggs. Egg cream? Did you paint any eggs for Easter? No, we never paint eggs. We never paint eggs. I don't know why. I tried to do a fun like egg dyeing trick last year because we had so many eggs last year that needed to get eaten anyway. So I was like, oh, we should like do something fun with them. And then if they're hard boiled, right, then I could just turn them into deviled eggs after we've, you know, dyed them somehow. But it didn't work. It didn't work. They all just look like normal ass eggs. So I was like, all right. I feel like painting eggs is less of a thing in the UK. I can't tell. I can't tell because I don't know. I think in America, we're a bit more. We really like celebrating shit loudly. I feel like people's at-home traditions revolving around certain holidays are much more like out in the open and talked about a lot. Nobody was talking about Easter around me until it was Easter. And you might argue, well, Dodger, you were in America for 2 weeks. That's fair. But like, it was just kind of like, oh, by the way, we're doing an egg hunt. It's like, oh, okay. All right. I'm Scottish. I did it all the time growing up. I painted eggs in Sunday school when I was young. I don't know. Maybe this is another Southerner thing, dude. Maybe this is just people in the South not wanting to talk about their bullshit. Talk about your bullshit a little bit, you know? Like, I wish someone would. God. What's the point of painting them? It's fun. Because it's fun. Yeah, it's whimsy. It's fun. It's a good time. It's a fun activity. As a Southerner, I agree. When we were in America, Clark was like, you keep saying hi to everybody. I was like, yeah, it's more normal here to say hi to everybody. And it reminded me of when we were talking about that on stream a couple of weeks ago. And how a couple of you guys were like, it sounds like you wish the people around you were Northerners. I need the tea. I'm dehydrating over here, Dodger. I don't need the tea. I just want people to just like fucking talk about themselves. People don't like to talk about themselves here. And that's clearly a cultural thing. And it's fine. I'm just not used to it. I just wish that people wanted to talk about themselves more here, but they don't. Everybody's very like, they keep everything very close to the chest, which again, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm just not used to trying to develop a relationship with people who are like, I'm not going to tell you a single thing about myself. Like, keep your secrets, everyone, I guess. Like, all right. Because then if you're the one who's like, okay, well, I'll tell you a little something about me, then you feel like a weirdo, like really self-absorbed. Like, I don't think I am. I'm just used to this being a back and forth. That's all. Yeah, I was watching a video where somebody was talking about how at ease they feel in Japan. They had lived there for like 4 or 5 years, I think, and they were talking about how the thing that made them feel so at ease is that people do not talk to each other. He's like, it's great. Everybody minds their own business. No one pays attention to anybody else. No one talks to anybody. I was like, I understand what you're saying. I would not like that. I would feel so isolated. I already feel isolated here, right? Like, I can't imagine if it was like even more that way. I was like, well, that cinches it. Not the place for me. It's the same in Scandinavia. I can tell from everybody in chat mentioning Scandinavian countries and being like, that sounds exactly like here. Again, I'm not saying that any of this is bad. It's just I have realized after a couple of years of living here that is not good for me. It doesn't work for me. The like lack of interaction makes it so hard for me. Speaking of Finland, when were you going? I can't go. I'm not able to go, unfortunately. Because it's a childcare thing as per usual. Nobody could come with it because Clark really wanted to go, and we were like, that would be amazing, but this is a work trip technically. So when we're doing the work stuff, somebody would need to come with us that could hang out with you, and literally no one could. And I was like, well, it doesn't feel fair to create this situation where she's like, I want to go so bad, and then be like, sorry, kid, you can't come. And also one of us can't come, like, so we decided, I guess we're just all going to stay home. None of us are going to go. And we will plan a trip to Finland at some point that isn't a work thing, The joke in Finland was that when COVID social distancing was a thing and nothing changed in Finland. Yeah. I'm sure that's true. I'm sure there were plenty of countries where that was the case, where it was like, I need to stay away from everybody and not talk to them. Yeah, sounds good. A friend of mine was saying something similar to that, Null, actually, that like, I think we were talking about mukbang. We were talking about the, how like some of that developed because of there being like a big culture of people who were sitting at home alone eating by themselves, and this like not wanting to go out and be with other people but still wanting some sort of like community or companionship, and finding that in a streamer or a mukbang, you know, sort of a thing. And they were like, I think that is kind of common just in general across the board, right? Like you're home and you're happy to be home by yourself. You're happy to have your alone time, but there's either a fully conscious or a subconscious part of you that acknowledges that like you want a little bit of like extrovert energy around you, but you don't want to be interacting with a person. And so a stream's really good for that. You find a streamer that has the right energy that you're looking for, and you just put it on, and it feels like you get like a little bit of that, you know? A controlled environment. Yeah. We were in England, literally moved here, and then England went into lockdown. I was like right at the cutoff when I finally got here with my BRP, with my residency permit, saying that I could stay here. It was, I want to say, a couple weeks, maybe a month before lockdown. So if I had put that off anymore, potentially, I wouldn't have been able to get back. So thank goodness that all worked out. These, I've still got them. I've still just got them next to me. I need to take them inside because I forget about them until I'm in my office. And then I go, oh, the dippies. The dippies. I haven't done anything with those yet. You know what? It was actually a really good sign. Someone asked, do you prefer the UK over the US, or are you getting homesick? So I still have not fully settled into the UK. I think, talked about that enough. But, you know, it was a really good sign for me was this last trip. We were out there for 2 weeks. Normally, when I come back, I have this sort of feeling of like, I start kind of mentally preparing myself to not feel right for a while, if that makes sense, because the cold, typically, I would say, you know, I can only speak to my own experience and experiences of other, you know, expats that I've talked to, but like a lot of time the culture that you grow up in, and the people who, you know, talk like you, interact like you, will put you at ease. And it takes a long time in a new culture to feel at ease in it. And I still don't fully feel at ease in the United Kingdom. I don't talk to people the way that I talk to people in America, right? Normally when I'm coming back, I start to mentally prepare for that to like not quite feel right. Somebody a couple of days before we came home asked if they could see pictures of the farm. And I was like, yeah, of course. So I was bringing up pictures and I felt this really strong feeling of like, Oh my gosh, I really miss being home. I really miss the farm. I really miss my dog and Sam, obviously, but like I really miss being there. And that was, I think, the first time I felt that way. Not missing Sam. Whenever we leave, of course, I always want to go back and see Sam, but like wanting to come back home and feeling like this was home, and like it would be nice to be here again. You know, it was the first time that I got hit with that really strongly, like, oh my gosh, I'm ready to go home. Like I'm really ready to go back and be on the farm. So yeah, that was nice. That felt like progress to me, like big progress. We need Bree and Benji to buy a farm down the road. That would be tight. Mm-hmm. As someone who's planning to move country in a few years, it makes me hopeful I'll get there. Yeah, I think people say that generally it takes between 2 and 5 years to kind of like settle yourself. I'm giving myself 2 extra years because 2 of those years we were not interacting with people. Because for like 2 years I was basically just in my house. So I don't think those count. Those years don't count. So I'm technically on year like 3-ish. Yeah. It could take a little bit. It can take a little bit. But I've hit the point where I can acknowledge that the next steps for me really are in my court. You know, I have to start putting myself out there, and until I do, there's not really anything else to be done about it, right? If I want to meet people, I work from home. I have a kid, right? Like I have to make the effort to go out and like do things. So really happy Sam got his pigs. Yeah, they were the first animal we got when we moved here, I think, because we already had the chickens. We brought the chickens over with us. Yeah, the piggies, they're gigantic. They're so big. I love them. Mm-hmm. Yeah. This spring/summer, I really want to focus on gardening. Clark wants flowers. I really want to like make an effort to help her plant some flowers. I really want to, start up my vegetable garden again. I just think that would be nice. I think that would be nice because I really wanted to do that last year and I didn't. Is there even a summer in the UK? Yeah, and it's fucking awful. Yes, there is a horrific heat wave every year in England. So we get it for like a week. Don't say that. That's not true. That's not true. There's a whole ass summer that happens and it's all contained into like a month. And there's at least a week, maybe 2, where everyone is sweating and everyone is putting out like messages to each other like, Please be careful. Our houses literally bake us. We're not built for this. And everybody talks about whether or not they should bite the bullet and buy portable air conditioners. And then they just make it through the heat wave and go, never mind. What was I thinking? It's awful. There's no AC out here. It's terrible. Yeah, exactly. We get to the hot month, and then everyone in the UK is like, oh my God, we're dying. And the people that are in places that are warmer will be like, shut up, you dumb babies. And then the people in the UK start posting a bunch of stuff about how the houses are built and how they cook us and how no one has AC and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And then it's done. And we wait to do that all over again next year. Yeah. So we were talking about that with my mom. My mom and dad, because they have like really bad arthritis and things, they live in the desert for part of the year now. They're almost 80. You know, they want to do what they can to be comfortable when the weather gets bad in Oregon. So that's where we went to visit them on this last trip is to the desert. And we were talking about how crazy it is that like humidity plays such a huge factor in how you deal with heat. Like it's also the homes, whether there's AC, you know, how they're built, if they're built to like keep heat out or keep heat in, all of those sorts of things. But like in general, you can deal with such high temperatures in the desert because it's so dry. Like it's hot, but at least you're not sticky, you know? Like it's so different out there. It was over 100 degrees Fahrenheit, clearly. It was over 100 degrees while we were out there. And we were like, it's not too bad though. It's like it's all right. But wet heat, humid heat, the sort of like, I'm going to take a shower and the second you step out of the shower, you're sweaty again. No, thank you. No. Disgusting. Oh, 100% humidity. I could not. Yes. Where I live, the humidity is currently 85%. Bro. No thanks. Sounds like somebody's at the gate. Yum, 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 yum. My dog is barking. We're letting her walk around outside because no one's here. There's no animals for her to try to play with or chase or any of that. So we're letting her just kind of walk around and have some freedom for the first time in forever. And she's just been laying on the grass and just chilling, chewing on her toys. But now she's barking at the gate. So clearly, clearly someone's here. But yeah, we think that her legs are healing up fine. We'll be taking her in 2 weeks, I think, for an x-ray to see how everything's looking, and they can tell us whether or not it's healing properly, etc., you know. So I hopefully she's okay. Good luck, Peach. Indeed. Sweet girl.
Hello. Welcome to the stream, gang. Hello.
Oh my goodness. Huh. You know what I want to watch? The Star Trek movie. Which one, Dodger? I don't remember. I don't know how people refer to that Star Trek movie. The reboot movie. The one with Zachary Quinto in it. Star Trek '09? Is that what people call it? I know it was just called Star Trek, but hello, my love.
Hi.
Oh, his voice is so deep. He's so handsome. Thank you.
Because you want food.
Thank you.
You butter me up.
I always talk to you that way when you come in my office. Thank you.
It's like currently on the floor. I'm sick of this.
Sorry.
What are you doing? Oh. I wasn't strong enough to do that. Thank you. Hey, Sam, she was talking shit about you? I was not. What is going on? Settle down. Hey. What's in here? Oh. Nuggerinos. Some nuggerinos? Well, Star Trek the original series was like, it was something that I used to put on when I was in college, when I was working on like costume designs and stuff. I got the DVDs from Costco. And this was, you know, pre-Netflix, pre-streaming, anything. So I had the Star Trek DVDs, so I would just put them on all the time. And the original series is just a ridiculous romp. It's so silly. But I got like very attached, even though I love Next Generation, Voyager. I never really got into Deep Space Nine. I hear Deep Space Nine is great though. But just in general, you know, it's hard for me to not enjoy a Star Trek, but I'm very attached to the original series characters because I used to watch it so much. So when Star Trek '09, which I guess is how people call it, came out, I was so excited. You have Sky TV over there. TNG is all they play. DS9 is the best track. I had a friend who watched all of it. All of Deep Space Nine. Like our last year of college, I think. And she was like, holy shit, this story gets so interesting by the end. She said Deep Space Nine, out of all of them, in her opinion, had the most payoff to like sticking with it. I watched like random episodes on the Sci-Fi Channel of Deep Space Nine, so I have no idea what it's like to watch any of that in order. I started watching Strange New Worlds, which is fun. It's definitely more like old Trek. And I loved the first season of Discovery. It didn't maintain its energy, unfortunately, but I loved the first season. I found it really interesting that Discovery was so divisive. I don't know why. I still don't understand why people hated the concept of it so much. I haven't watched Lower Decks. Pitch Lower Decks to me. Star Trek, but they suck at their jobs. Okay. Lower Decks is all the rookie ensigns doing the scout work, while the bridge crew have standard Star Trek adventures. I see. I see. Okay. It's like a B team sort of vibe. So while all of the stuff going on with like the really important people on the ship, while they're doing their thing, it's the people that are still on the ship like trying to do their jobs. That sounds awesome. I love that. It's also a much less important ship. I see. One of those ships from one of those moments where they're like, all right, we're going to send in 3 of our best ships, the Enterprise, and then these other 2. Like, okay, so we're on this one. Hold on. I'm going to bring up a tab about it so that I can remember to watch it. It's one of those you have to love the source material before you can joke about it parodies. I see. Strange New Worlds is great. Yeah, it's very fun. I feel like the only issue for me with Strange New Worlds is it's so... And I guess this is part of what's good about it. It's so much like older Trek that I don't feel much of a drive to like watch the next one, right? There's nothing like built into the show to make me go, oh my God, I have to watch the next episode. I just kind of watch it really casually, which I think is fine. I'm just like, I don't know if I'm ever going to catch up with Strange New Worlds. Because I don't want to just like sit there and binge it, you know? I don't know. Have you watched Orville? Orville was a while ago, wasn't it? When was Orville? 2017. Oh, not that long ago. No, I didn't watch it. What am I thinking of? What was the one that took place before the original series that got started a while ago and it didn't do super well? Was it called Enterprise? Okay. That was a while ago. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
I didn't get a Happy Meal. I didn't get a Happy Meal.
My kid doesn't even get Happy Meals anymore. You know why? At a certain point, I was like, wow. At a certain point, she was like, the toys really suck. And Sam and I had been kind of behind our hands saying this every time we ever went to McDonald's and she got a Happy Meal. We were like, why do the toys suck so bad? Like they are not built to be played with. They are awful. Just like, we know you're going to throw this away immediately type toys, right? I'm like, God, why do they suck so bad? And at a certain point, Clark looked at us and went, why do these toys suck so bad? And so she doesn't want Happy Meals anymore. She's like, just give me food. Just give me I just want a meal like you guys have. Great. I feel like when I was a kid, this might be the nostalgia talking, but I feel like when I was a kid, the toys that you got in a Happy Meal were like toys. Like you wanted to play with them later, you know? I have a Happy Meal Shrek toy of Fiona. And she even has built-in voice lines. This is oddly enough, full circle, reminding me of, was it Burger King that did the Star Trek glasses? I was going, whether it was Burger King or McDonald's, I can't remember which, but I was going constantly to try and get all of the glasses. How much are those now? No, like cup glasses. I'm positive it was Burger King. Yes, these. Oh my God, it's these. Wait! They don't cost anything. They're actually so cheap to get the set. I could replace them. I had two that I brought with me when I moved to LA, and both of them were broken. Oh my gosh, I could replace them. My life could be different. I could have Star Trek glasses again. Does it matter? Do I actually want to get Star Trek glasses? I do. I do. Because I cared about them so much when they came out and I wanted them so bad. And I can buy the whole set for $20 now. It sparks joy from afar, you know? Oh my God. Sam, like went around our house and grabbed all of the dishes that were like hiding in weird places. They were mostly like glasses we had used for water, and got them all washed before we came home. And he was like, I gotta tell you, we have so many things that we use as just cups, and they do not fit anywhere. I was like, okay. Sounds like we need to use them for something else or get rid of them. No, it's because I keep glass. It's because I keep glass for like storage. But if the glass is empty, it just goes where our drinking glasses are. And I've been keeping like every, you know, pasta sauce jar, every jam jar, all of it. And I've kept too many at this point. And I was like, all right, that's okay. We can get rid of them. It's fine. Yeah, look up 2008 Burger King Star Trek glasses. And you will see them. Do they look incredible? No. No. But I wanted them so bad. Why would child me give a shit about drinking glasses? No, this was adult ass Dodger. They look awful. Thank you for your honesty. I still want them. Yeah. It's a whole set. It's a whole dang set. Yup. Okay. Anyways. We went to a charity shop yesterday after breakfast. Sam is on the same schedule as us, which is crazy. So, yesterday I was like, oh my God, should we go get breakfast? So we did. And after breakfast, we walked by a charity shop in Oxfam that Clark and I really like. So I was like, let's go in. And they had a Moomin cup in there. And I was like, oh, a Moomin mug. And I was like, I should get rid of a couple mugs before I get a new mug. And Sam goes, or you could take it home and just refuse to use it until you've gotten rid of other mugs. And that way somebody else doesn't take the mug home. And I was like, okay. All right. I will. So now there's a box, a Moomin box, just sitting there staring at me being like, when are you going to get rid of a couple mugs? So I can join the family. Was it enabling or sarcasm? It was like, for Sam, I think it's like, do whatever you like, right? Like both of us are very, whatever makes you happy, whatever sparks joy, go for it, you know. We're not hurting each other. We're not hurting the family. We're not putting ourselves in uncomfortable positions. It's fine. What do you enjoy? Go for it, right? So, Sam has never suggested that I get rid of mugs, ever. I'm always the one who's like, oh my God, we have so many mugs. I need to get rid of some mugs. You know? With the cups thing, he realizes that I am hoarding glass, right? I think in that situation, it's more like, honey, we don't need 10 pasta jars that don't have anything in them, right? If we have something to go in them, which was your intention, if there's something to go in them, that's different. But if there's nothing going in them, we need to get rid of them because they're just taking up a ton of space, which is so fair. But with the mugs, Sam is much more likely to be like, well, why don't we put up like, you know, some like a cute hanging option, and you can have some mugs that are on the shelf and some mugs that are hung up kind of like decor, or like, you know, why don't you have some of the mugs in your office, like along here or something. You could, you know, use them as decoration or whatever. Like, there are things that you can do with a mug collection. But if you're just keeping glass, that's a different conversation. Well, I'm not a rebel canner, gang. I wouldn't just use like an old pasta jar from the store to try it can a homemade pasta sauce. But typically when I keep those, it's to hold like, you know, one of the jars currently has like all the different types of sugars in them. I have an old pasta jar that has lentils. I have a big jar that has coconut flakes, right? Like things like that. I use some of them for crafts. But currently, nothing needs a home. So the glass is just piling up and has no use. So Sam should build you a mug shed. Sam is not a builderman. Sam chopped wood for the first time yesterday. I was so proud of him. We needed kindling, and I was like, well, I found the hand axe, so I'm going to go try and chop us some kindling. The issue is that you need something to like absorb the shock. So typically people will use a stump. We don't have anything really to safely do that with. So I was just kind of putting it on a flat piece of ground and chopping off small bits. And Sam was like, I found a way bigger axe. I was like, yeah, but I can't swing that. Too small. So I have to use the hand axe. And he was like, I could try to swing it. And he crushed it. He did really well. He did smack his leg with the axe at one point, not with the sharp, but fortunately. But he did great. I was like, look at you. First time cutting wood. Well done. Mm-hmm. I was saying things like make sure that your legs are wide, right? Because if you miss, you want it to swing between your legs, not into your leg, for obvious reasons. So like, he had his legs spread, he had a good stance, you know. So he was, in terms of like posture and positioning, he was about as safe as he could be. So I was like, look at you, this new workout, right? But that used to be my job when I was younger, was chopping wood. I was like, man, that feels so long ago. I haven't chopped wood properly. since I was a kid. And if I could do it when I was a kid, surely I can do it as an adult. I just don't. The positioning is just bad because I can't. I'm having to like onto the ground, you know? We don't have a stump. No. We don't have a stump currently. You will if Sam keeps trying to chop wood. The only reason that he came out there to do it is because he could hear me chopping wood behind his office and was like, because I had messaged him like, do you know where the axe is? I really need help finding the axe. And he was like, why? But yeah, would be great to have something where I could chop at with the right posture. But using a hand axe on a piece of wood that's sitting on the ground is not ideal. The universal, oh God, she's doing things. Yeah. And then alternatively, inside of our house, I was like, Clarky, we really need to clean off the dining table. You have like 10 different Lego sets on there and they've been there for a long time. Can we relocate those? And she just goes, no. Here's a fun thing to think about when you are the trusted adult to a child. A thing that I forget often is if something isn't a request, if it's like this has to happen, don't phrase it like it's a question or like, my big mistake here was going, do you think that maybe we could move those? Because then she was able to be like, no, I don't think so. No, I think they should stay right there. And then I had to go, sorry, let me change how I talked about that. We need to move those. So where are they going? She was like, there's nowhere they can go. It's like, how about we find a bucket or a container and we carefully stack them on top of each other. And then after the dining table's been cleaned off and we've cleaned it properly, you can decide if you'd like to take them back out. And she was like, no. So that's our current situation. Shoot. In the end, she was like, I'm okay with it if we move them to the coffee table. I was like, and then when we need to clean the coffee table, what's the plan? She's like, I'll just move them back to the dining table. Lego. Jeannie was laughing because after Clark went to bed, we were talking about her. And at a certain point when I was at Jeannie's house, you have these moments sometimes where you're like so proud of how a kid's mind is working. But in the moment you're like, it's kind of like my kid said something funny, but it was also inappropriate, so I can't laugh. It's that kind of a thing. Clark was bouncing a yoga ball in Jeannie's living room. And I was like, Clark, stop doing that because it's going to bounce into something that could break. And she was like, okay. but then like a second later bounced it again. And I was like, Clark, I asked you not to do that. And she was like, you didn't ask me, actually. You didn't ask me not to do that. You told me not to do that. Which like is beside the point and doesn't matter. But also I was like, I love that she immediately was like, no, that's not what happened. I love that. No, legitimately. And I'm not being sarcastic. I love that she was able to immediately be like, no, that's not what happened just then. You told me to do something. And so I know, but like, I think being able to recognize the technicality immediately is such a good skill for when you're older, because adults try to catch themselves, try to like catch each other out that way, you know, and fail at it a lot. Anyways, my tactic in that sort of a situation where she's clearly trying to like start an argument with me for no reason was I was like, okay, either way, do you know why I told you not to do that? And she was like, so stuff doesn't break. I was like, yeah, so do you think that we should still be doing that? She was like, no. Right? And then it's fine and we're all back on track again. But it was later, Jeannie was like, bro, she was so like ready to like use smarts to like outdo you somehow. I was like, I know. And again, I love that. But it's annoying when you're the adult in the situation sometimes and you're trying to be like, all right, hold on, settle down. No, that's often not a useful trait. I disagree. As someone who gets super stressed out the second someone tries to like have a conflict with me, I would much rather be raising somebody who can think clearly when there's conflict. And you might say like she could turn into a really combative adult, but like I want to know that this little human that I'm raising is going to be able to stand up for herself. Right? I want to know that when she is in a conflict situation that she can think clearly about it and be able to tell like, wait a minute, no, you're misrepresenting me right now, right? Or you're misrepresenting the situation that just happened. Being able to do that and say it out loud, like, no, this is what happened just then, is insanely valuable because people get overwhelmed really easily. It's good. It's just like anything else with little kids. It's something that where you have to learn when to pick a fight and when not to, right? Because, yeah, some people turn into combative adults. That doesn't mean that every person that can engage in critical thinking in a conflicting situation are turning into combative adults, right? It doesn't make her bouncing it right, which I didn't say it was. I responded with, but you understand why I told you not to do that. And she did. I was agreeing with you. Okay. It's hard to tell with a wall of text. But yeah, you know, especially with parents or again, you know, guardians, whatever, adults that kids are really used to being around and being raised by and they feel comfortable with, they're going to feel more comfortable being like, I'm trying to think of how to put this. I don't remember the term for it, but there's a term for when kids have been at school all day and they've had their like nice pleasant face on And when they get home, sometimes they immediately try to pick fights or get upset easily or like frustrated with everything. It's like a come down from having to be on their best behavior all day. And then they get home and they're exhausted. And they're in a safe place, hopefully, right? If they feel safe at home and safe with the adults in their home, sometimes they are more aggressive because all of the frustration is built up over the day and it all comes out, you know? Yeah. I'm concerned that you're describing me after work. It's the same thing. When you're like, I've had to have a mask on all day of being a pleasant, hardworking, lovely individual. And now I'm home and all I want to do is like not think, right? Post-restraint collapse. Telly coming in with the exact phrase I was looking for. Post-restraint collapse. The emotional collapse after maintaining normalcy all day. Yeah. Oh my God. Sam on Friday spent the entire day with some of his old school friends. They were like, come on, we haven't seen you in forever. Come out. And he was like, okay, yeah, I'll go out. I'll have fun. And he did. But yesterday, like I said, we went to breakfast in the morning. And the second we got back from breakfast, he was like, I'm going to go be by myself. I was like, okay. And later, he was like, I was so overstimulated by the end of the day yesterday. And I did want to have breakfast with you guys, you know, because I love spending time with you guys. But like, I realized about halfway through breakfast that I needed to be alone as soon as possible. Fair. Yeah, sometimes you don't realize it's happening until you're in it, until you're like, oh my God, my battery's dead. I need to get out of here, right? Unfortunately, you know, if you're with people that you live with, a lot of times, again, hopefully, you do feel like you can go to the other person or the other people and say, I'm going to go have some me time. That was a lot of fun. See you guys in a few hours, right? How much TV does your kid watch? It depends. She has some days where she just wants to veg and the TV's on and she just kind of hangs out and watches TV off and on all day. And I had days like that when I was a kid and I don't recall ever like being upset about those days, you know? But most days she does not want to do that. I would say there's like most days we don't have the TV on at all, really. So it just depends. It depends on the day. Yesterday I was trying to take a picture because Clark was on her hoverboard. She had bought there a little LOL. There are little LOL balls that have 3 LOL babies in them. So they're like this big. They're just tiny little toys. And she bought them with some of her book money because she gets money for every book at her reading level that she reads. She doesn't get an allowance, but and so she used some of her book money to buy these little LOL babies with the intention of repainting them because she had watched a bunch of videos of people repainting and redesigning dolls. So she was on her hoverboard painting an LOL doll. And I was like, this is an incredible picture right now. And I went to like grab my phone so I could take a picture because I was like, I want to be able to show this to her when she's older to be like, this is the sort of shit that you wanted to do with your day. And by the time I got back in the room, she had stepped off the hoverboard. I was like, no! It was so funny. It was so funny. It was amazing. The multitasking, yeah, it was crazy. I was like, what are you doing? Yeah. I was introduced to the idea of you learn, you earn. So we adopted that quite a while ago. So she gets, money for any book at her reading level that she reads. And she gets a little bit of money for if she wants to earn more money, she can do like worksheets for stuff that they're learning currently in school. Or if there's something that she really is interested in and wants to learn about and would like that to be the worksheets like equivalent, then she can talk with me about that. And I'm normally super chill with that. She normally chooses to read because it's pretty simple to be able to just like finish a book and be like, nice, did that. Are you the let me take a photo mom? Honestly, Sam and I both don't take that many pictures. I often think that we should take pictures more often because I'll go through my phone and be like, oh my God, did I not take any pictures of that? Like we don't really take a whole lot of pictures. And I think I took more before I had her. I take a lot less now, oddly enough, because I don't like posting photos anymore. Not that people only take pictures with the express intention of posting them, but I don't post photos of us anymore. So, the intention is just to take pictures when there's something that I want to keep a picture of, you know. Has she discovered the infinite money loop of using book money to buy books? She has not used book money to buy books, but she is far more interested in going to the library now, which is tight. Do you ever test her on the book to make sure she understood it? It's not really necessary because she talks to me about what she's reading the whole time that she's reading it. So she's been reading the Junie B books. And she's on the last one actually now, but literally while she's she'll just stop every chapter or so and be like, oh my gosh, mommy, Junie did the funniest thing. And I'll be like, oh yeah. You know, she talks to me about it like she's gossiping. It's very cute. Or like the Cardboard Kingdom comics that I talked about a while ago. She didn't want to talk to me about like what specifically was going on, but she had a lot of clarifying questions about things that were happening because those books are a bit more serious than anything else that she had read before. So there were a couple of different points where she would like read something and she'd go, mommy, can you read this section? And then I have a question to ask you. Like, I want to ask you what happened at a certain point in there, which I think is a really good way to do that, right? To be like, okay, just to make sure that you know what I'm talking about, can you read these pages? And then I have a question to ask. So yeah, she talks to me a lot about what she's reading. So I don't really feel the need. There have been a couple of books where she has openly admitted, like, yeah, I got to this point in the book and I was kind of bored, so I skipped ahead. And I was like, thank you for being honest. I'm down to give you a percentage of what you would have earned normally, right? You still read a bunch of it. But I've tried to be like, if you're not enjoying it, you can always put it down and start a new book or whatever. But I do think that is the drawback of the money incentive, is in her mind, it's like, well, if I want to like earn the money from reading this book, then I need to finish it in some way, shape, or form, right? So, you would have to navigate that however you want it, if you wanted to do something like that. Sunk page fallacy. What I like about her having her own money for things, and she doesn't get a ton. She doesn't need a ton. But it's nice because you can start, like, she'll find things or see things that she really wants. And then we have to have the whole conversation of like, okay, how much is it? Okay, so in your book, it says that you have this much. So you can save up to get that thing, but for now you don't have enough, right? But she really loved being able to get, like, again, she really wanted to paint a little doll. So when we were at the store and she saw the little babies in the little LOL babies, she was like, "Oh my God. And they're only $2. I have enough," right? Or £2. I have enough. I can get it myself with my own money, right? And I think she really felt like proud of that. I see sometimes parents will do a thing where, like, however much their kid has earned that month, at the end of the month, they get it, just like a paycheck, right? But then they'll take, $2 or, whatever as rent, so that their kid can start thinking about the fact that, like, yes, you get money, but you also have to pay bills. And I was like, I don't know that I want my kid thinking about that yet. Like, that feels unnecessary. She's not even 7 yet. Like, I don't think I need to be like, but here's the crushing reality of the world. That money's not even yours. Like, we don't need to be doing that. we can just be doing the, like, here you go. Have this money. We've talked about, like, savings, like maybe £1 or something should be going into savings each time, but that's kind of up to her, You calculated your tax incorrectly. HMRC are coming to lock you up. No. All right. I just realized that it's 4 o'clock. It's time for me to go away. I have to feed the pigs. It's pig feeding time, dude. But thank you all so much for hanging out with me. Again, if you're celebrating today, I hope you've had a lovely day. Let me read off our activity feed. For those of you that watch Sunforged, there's no Sunforged tonight. I believe we're finally coming back next week. But too many people had Easter plans, so that's okay. I have 2 more days on the like in between term schedule, the off school schedule, if you will. So I'll be starting at 1 p.m. BST for Monday and Tuesday. And then starting Wednesday, we should be able to go back to 11 a.m. BST start time.
So,
Senathil, thank you for the 13 months. Zinthar for the 18. Walter Mellon for the 45. Absolute Uppercut for the 17. Exoven for the 102. Fatal for All for the 109. Prince Kaitsu for the 92. Short Stack for the 30. Tetsu for the 6 years. Happy anniversary. Thank you so much. Ginger Jotun for the 4. Colliver for the 2. Slime for the 100. Happy 100 months. And Pigeon Studios Jen for the 17. Thank you guys so much. It's funny how Sunforged had such a cliffhanger and then a month's break. Dude, yeah. All right. Well, nobody grabbed it, so it's mine. Let's see. Who's streaming? Who's streaming right now? Joe Cat's doing a subathon, it looks like. There you go. Go say hi. Spread love and joy. Thank you all so much for watching. I appreciate it. I will see you guys tomorrow. Okay?
take care. Bye-bye.